We're going to talk about sun today, and as soon as the lecture has a break, I know you're going to want to run out there.
This is Barbara O'Neill, a passionate advocate for simple, natural remedies that transform lives. While many chase the latest health trends, Barbara reminds us of two powerful, often overlooked essentials: pure air and sunshine. In this video, we'll uncover Barbara's insights on how to harness the magic of fresh air and sunlight to transform your health, starting today. At first, let's explore the topic of pure air.
So the first one we're going to look at is pure air. This is often underestimated, and we have our own personal air conditioner. Did you know that? Our own personal air conditioner, our own personal air purifier, our own personal system, and that is called nose. Nose purifies the air, it warms the air, it humidifies the air. It balances the blood gases, and it also pressurizes the air, so it's perfect for the lungs. And many people think that when they're exercising, they really have to breathe through the mouth. And when you're at the top of one of these hills, you do feel like you need more air. So you breathe in through your mouth, but you actually don't get more air. I'll tell you about a study that was done on some poor old monkeys. But this is probably not near as bad as some of the things they've done to monkeys. This researcher plugged up their noses for 6 months. And he plugged up their noses so that forced them to only breathe through their mouths. Their whole face structure changed, the jaw dropped down, and believe it or not, they were all snoring and blood pressure, if monkeys can have blood pressures rising, all sorts of problems. And what they found is because they weren't breathing through their noses, the little canals at the back of the nose started to shrink and even grow a little skin over them. After 6 months, they unplugged the noses and they taped the mouth up. So now the monkeys had to breathe through their nose. Within 1 week, the whole face structure changed. And also, yes, the skin was broken because the air started to go through the little tunnels at the back of the nose, but they got bigger and bigger and bigger. A very good illustration: if you don't use it, you will lose it. So when people are struggling with nose breathing, I say to them, you'll get better at it. Something else that I found fascinating was that when you breathe high chest, through the mouth, it stimulates your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is your fight and flight, anxious nervous system. Whereas if you close mouth, breathe through the nose, and I call it God's LSD, long, slow, deep, with your abdominal muscles, you stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, and your parasympathetic nervous system is your peaceful, calming nervous system.
Now, let's learn about the importance of sunshine.
The ultraviolet rays from the sun, particularly UVB rays. The ultraviolet rays from the sun, they hit the skin and they cause a form of cholesterol. Did everyone hear that? Cholesterol just under the skin. And they convert the cholesterol to vitamin D. And vitamin D is essential. Vitamin D is essential for the assimilation of calcium. Calcium's called the king, and because it's called the king, it's been misunderstood. So what does it mean when calcium is called the king? Well, calcium gets into the body. When it gets into the cell, all the other minerals piggyback on the back of calcium. That's why it's called the king. But the worst thing you can do for your body is take calcium supplements, because bones aren't made of calcium. Bones are not made of calcium, they're made of 12 minerals and 64 trace. So what they are finding, that sunscreen is actually contributing to the vitamin D deficiency that we're seeing, and also contributing to skin cancer. So good amounts of vitamin D deficiency can actually protect you from skin cancer. There are 2,500 receptor sites on the DNA to vitamin D. We cannot function effectively without vitamin D. We cannot heal without vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential, and where do we get it? We get it from the sun. but we get it from the UVB rays. If the window's closed and you're sitting in the sun, you're not getting UVB. It's the UVA rays that come through, and they can actually burn quite quickly, the UVA. When you put sunscreen on, it blocks UVB. So we need to have our skin exposed to the sunshine. So the ultraviolet rays from the sun hit the skin, and they convert a form of cholesterol just under the skin to vitamin D. And it takes about 2 hours to develop that vitamin D. So if you lay out in the sun and then go and have a shower and wash yourself with soap and wash away all your oils, you're not going to get your vitamin D. It needs 2 hours. But if you're lying in the sun and you get hot and you dive in the pool or in the sea, you won't wash your vitamin D away. Actually, if you dive into a chlorinated pool, that chlorine on the skin does inhibit your ability to uptake the vitamin D. So if you're going to dive in a pool, dive in a fresh pool, dive in a lake, dive in a river, dive in the sea, they won't affect your body, your skin's production of the vitamin D. And if you have a shower and wash yourself with soap, washing all your oils away, and go and lay in the sun, you won't get vitamin D, because that layer of natural oil is needed on the skin. So there are a few things that we need to be mindful of to be able to access our vitamin D. Your eyes need sun. In his book, Better Eyesight Without Glasses, Dr. William Bates, he almost lost his license over writing that book. Very interesting book. And the last chapter of the book gives a summary of everything your eyes need. And what interested me, here's the summary. We need to be breathing fresh air so that our cells are getting oxygen. He said sunshine. Every day we should let our eyes be exposed to the sun. Never should we look at the sun, our eyes will tell us that. But isn't it nice to look at the early morning and the late afternoon sun? And what Dr. Neil Nedley found is that that resets our circadian rhythm. What also they discovered is that when the ultraviolet rays from the sun go through neurochemical pathways and hit the pineal gland, that helps you to sleep better at night, and it boosts your serotonin. Serotonin is your mood hormone. If you want to feel good, go and sit in the sun. Don't you feel good on a sunny day? So the sun can also boost the mood.
Pure air and sunshine aren't just gifts, they're life's essentials. Barbara O'Neill's wisdom reminds us that the simplest things can have the most profound impact on our health. So step outside, take a deep breath, and let the sun energize your body and mind. Because sometimes the best wellness secret is just embracing the world around you. And if you enjoyed this video, check out another one, Barbara O'Neill's Secrets to Balance: The Power of Temperance.